Ladies and gentlemen, it's the AZ² podcast. We got Drewski, Heavy, Lazy. Let's go. Man, that song,
It is
I'm not gonna lie, dude. It bumps. It slaps.
It is.
Dare I say, it slaps.
Dare I agree? It slaps.
You know that song. So like, I made that song, and I'm not one to like brag about my music or anything like that. I mean, you know me. I've never. I mean, this song being like public domain at this point and like existing on the internet. That's like, there's like one of two now. Things that I actually have online that like could prove that I make music.
That's so true. I always forget about that because you share music with me, but I forget that you don't post it anywhere. You're like the only person I know that doesn't just go and post their music as soon as they make it. Like, I've had these songs for 10 years. Still ain't posted them. Like, what the fuck?
Just that never-ending chase of like, oh, but it could sound this much better if I just, had this XYZ, if I had this piece of gear, if I had, this amount of money to go to a pro studio and record vocals or whatever. But it's coming together now. Now all I need is time at home.
Yeah,
time
right.
at home. Because now, I mean, I've got the stuff I need to make it happen. And I would love to debut a song on the podcast. Maybe we could play it on the show, and
that would be beautiful.
Get a little feedback. And it would be formally the first release of anything, I'd ever done. So, and I think people would fuck with it.
I think so. I know your music, so I know people would fuck with it. Your music's good. It's real good.
Thanks. Yeah, you get the behind the scenes first look at like everything,
and it's a pleasure.
Well, speaking of behind the scenes, ladies and gentlemen, I just sat down. I've been working since about 12 hours ago or so. I just sat down. Just before we hit record, I took my work pants off. Finally, I forgot. I was sitting here getting ready to go, thinking like, God, I'm so fucking uncomfortable. Why am I not comfortable? And I realized, I still got the damn Carhartts on. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So kick those babies off. I'm feeling a lot better now. But holy shit, man! I'm just like, I think we talked about it a little bit last week, but just like those moments of like realizing, damn, I haven't stopped moving like all day, and then you finally sit down and it's like, oh shit, whew, hey, I can like stop doing stuff,
Yeah, I can actually take a pause and rest.
In this case, chat with my boys. So Heavy is currently not in the building, but we'll see if he makes it by. We'll see if he makes it through here.
Yeah, he's dealing with some family stuff, having to take some kids some places, during the middle of the week.
Kids got to be places.
So, we started recording during the middle of the week, so, things pop up, and dad duty always comes first, and we respect that.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. If he was sitting here right now and he was like, yeah, man, I'm so glad I made it here on time. My daughter asked me to take her somewhere, but I was like, fuck you, I got a podcast to catch. Like, no, sir.
Oh, yeah.
So, family first, for sure.
So,
for sure.
So we're here. We're here with you to kick it, and hopefully he's going to try to make it. But if he doesn't, he does say hello and salute to everyone.
Dude.
Oh,
so I got, shout out. He's a man out there fulfilling his duties as a father should.
Facts.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
So what's up? How's your week been?
Oh,
you getting anything?
Oh, yeah, I've been extremely busy this last week. This is my first day in the shop all week.
Really?
Yeah, since like last week on, I think, Thursday or Friday.
That's a lot.
Yeah, usually I'm in here almost every day. And
you guys are going through a move, right? In the process of moving?
Yep. 19 days from the day we're recording this, we're out.
Damn.
Yep. The house already sold.
Are you guys getting bombed? Holy shit, I just heard like a bomber fly over you.
Yeah, it's straight up. We're right next to Boeing for all the listeners that are just tuning in and may have never seen the podcast before. Where I am, at least, not where Drew is, because as you can tell, it's different. There is Boeing right next to us.
Now, tell the people what Boeing is, because I've come to realize a lot of people don't know.
Really?
Yeah, it's weird because see where we grew up, it's like part of the culture, you know, it's part of like the society where we're at. But I've realized because I'll tell people, like when I meet, you know, random people or whatever, we're chatting, and I'll tell them like, yeah, I worked for Boeing for like 5 years, and they're like, what? I don't know what that is. Like, you know, Boeing airplanes, you know, like, oh no, I didn't really know. Like,
what?
Okay, I get. Yeah, it blows my mind.
Yeah, that blows my mind to even know that there's people out there that exist that don't know what Boeing is.
I know. It's because it's like built into our you know, small society within that area that area that we grew up.
Yeah, it's like not knowing what Heinz 57 ketchup is. That's how I feel. Like
Heinz what? Wait, what?
Don't do that.
No, I know what ketchup is, dude. You tap it on the dot on the little 57 logo. That's how you make it come out, you know?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Splap, blap. Yep. Or you can finger fuck it with a knife.
Yeah, if you. Yeah. Well, those old school glass bottle like condiments like that, it was kind of the worst. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Because you either don't get any ketchup out, or you get a giant like.
All of it.
Yeah.
Either you dump the bottle, or you get nothing.
And I hope you remember to shake it up first, or you're gonna have ketchup water coming out before anything else.
Just dripping.
Ketchup water, mustard water.
Oh, the worst.
Oh, dude, hot dog water. I mean, why is there water? Like ketchup, mustard, and hot dogs go together. It's a funny coincidence that ketchup water, hot dog water, and mustard water are three disgusting things, but I wonder what would happen. Hear me out. A cocktail of hot dog water, mustard water, and ketchup water. You get it all in a glass, you stir it around, maybe throw a shot of Spudka in there.
Oh,
nice like top shelf $8 plastic bottle of vodka. Mix that in there.
You have to be so much stronger than vodka.
Dude, some moonshine. Throw some moonshine in there.
Straight up, moonshine is good.
But like honestly, not the apple pie moonshine, because then you're gonna have apple pie, ketchup water, mustard water, hot dog water drink, and that just that gives me the willies. I got the willies, God. People.
Yeah, that made my spine tickle. That was weird. Oh, and I haven't even smelt it yet, and I feel like I can. That's the weird thing. I think it could be good. If you used like,
I'm morbidly curious, to be honest.
Yeah, with like a little White Lightning moonshine or something that's like straight pure alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
Mix it up. It might blend out those flavors and blend out the alcohol flavor to where it's just like water. All of a sudden, you're just taking water back.
You know, it might be such a rancid creation before you even add any alcohol. I mean, the combination of those three specific waters. They might actually be flammable.
They probably are flammable.
You know? Hot dog, mustard, and ketchup. You got the three elements right there. Musty, ketchup, hot dog. It's the three elements. You put them together in water. I mean, something's got to happen, and I refuse to believe that we're the first people to try this creation. I bet you, if you, I might do this later, go on YouTube or Reddit or something and try to find someone that has combined those three things. Because let me tell you something, if you don't find anything about creating the trifecta of the three most disgusting waters, that's some content right there. Like, we got to make that. You know what I'm saying?
Fact. That disgusting.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
the
see
worst water on planet Earth. Worst water possible.
I'm gonna see what I can find.
And we could like get enough to like throw it through a Brita and actually filter out and like get it's legitimately water, but it's going to be tainted by the like flavors and stuff. I think that would be really interesting. I would watch that.
Let's see what I can find here. You talk to the people.
All right, I got something for the people. I was inspired the other day by a little story I heard. It was about a guy who. So the year is it's 18 something, and way back then when they were coming over to California for the gold rush, and all these people are coming over, and they're all looking for the same thing. They're going for gold, and this guy gets there and he's a little late to the party. And so he can't find a plot of land. He can't get a deed for anything. He can't get, he's really struggling to find anywhere he can pan for gold. And anywhere that he does find, it's already been dried up. So this guy decides, well, hey, I'm going to post up in this town that all the miners come back to. And I'm just going to start selling mining equipment, like mining tools and shovels and stuff. And the whole thing is like when everyone... when everybody else is out there looking for gold, be the person selling them the shovel. So like, let's say there's someone has a really great idea, like it's I don't know, like TikTok or something like that. And you're like, oh shit, like I'll never be able to get like 1 billion followers on TikTok. Like I'm too late to the party. Well, maybe you start selling, voiceovers or something like that for people that are making viral TikToks. And you say, hey, I can give you, I can make your TikTok stand out with this cool voiceover or this cool animation or something like that, So sell all those people out there digging for gold. See if you can't sell them a shovel. That's the moral of the story.
I agree. So do you want to know what I've found thus far?
I would love to.
Nothing.
Hot dog, mustard, and ketchup water. You got nothing?
Absolutely. There's hot dogs. They're like the closest thing is ketchup water on hot dog. And it's a 17
ketchup
second.
Water as a condiment on a hot dog?
It's just like the watery ketchup. So here, I'm gonna play it.
Okay. Is this a YouTube video?
Yeah. And it's just watery ketchup on a hot dog, just soaked the fucking butt. Oh, it's so bad.
Is this like is the hot dog on a bun? I can't see this.
Oh
here.
yeah, it's on a bun. It's exactly what you think it is.
Okay, that's gross. Yeah. See, now we could take it that many steps further.
Oh God.
When you combine the mustard water and you utilize the hot dog water, it's untapped. It's really untapped.
This. We need to film this.
Yeah, 100%.
I can't find it anywhere. Like it's just like the closest shit is like hot dog bun with a bucket of ketchup, where the dude just like drenches it in mustard and then dips it in a bucket of ketchup.
I mean, that's okay. That's as long as I wonder if he stirred.
Water.
Yeah, right.
And then there's like debates on ketchup and mustard, and dude shoving down 23 hot dogs, swallowing 23 hot dogs.
That at the like Nathan's contest or something. Nathan's
like that.
That's what it's called, right? The hot dog eating contest every year. I think it's called Nathan's.
Nathan's hot dogs are the best. So that makes sense.
Shout out
hot dog water.
What's that guy?
Is the latest trend for hilarious research. Disgusting. Yeah, ketchup or mustard. What do you choose? Water sausage. Some dude just put water in a package of a sausage package and like cooked it. And
interesting. I wonder if he was like doing some sous vide sausages.
It's crazy. Then there's hot dog gets assaulted by ketchup and mustard. Let's see here.
Oh, that sounds like a cartoon.
Oh my God. All right, so it is 3 old dudes.
Okay.
In costumes. One's dressed up as a ketchup. One's dressed up as a mustard. One's dressed up as a hot dog. The hot dog's laying on his back, and he's getting ketchup and mustarded on by the ketchup and mustard from their ketchup and mustardy cocks.
I see. And that's on YouTube?
That is on YouTube.
That's right there for the kids to see, huh?
It is. You gotta put in ketchup water mixed with mustard water and hot dog water, but...
Yeah, well, hey, sounds like our video will steer them right there.
Exactly.
That's great.
I mean, it's comical. It's nothing like super grotesque. Yeah. It's just like...
And this is live action? Or is this a cartoon?
It's live action.
Wow.
Which makes it even funnier, actually.
Yeah, because it's just that much more expensive to produce the whole thing. Like, you had to actually go buy those costumes.
Yes, and it's filmed on what looks like an iPhone original. So
yeah,
Yeah.
Is it an old video?
The video looks old as shit, but the upload date was September 30th, 2021. So it looks like someone re-uploaded it. Which, shame on you for what you do when you re-upload other people's shit. But then there's Limp Biscuits, hot dog flavored water, hot dogs are made. And, like, yeah.
Wait, that's... What does that have to do with Limp Bizkit? Is that a song of theirs, hot dog flavored water?
That's their album. There's an album that they have called Limp Bizkit, Chocolate Starfish, and the Hot Dog Flavored Water.
I did not know that. That's pretty gross.
That was my first album from Limp Bizkit. It was fucking hilarious. So it's butt hair and ass sweat. That's what it means. Or ball sweat. Butt hair and ball sweat.
Interesting. Yeah, I always knew they were kind of a gross bunch.
Yeah, but they have fucking hilarious music. I used to be a Limp Bizkit fan back in the day.
Yeah, a biscuit head?
I did it all for the nookie.
Dude,
so they could take the cookie.
I would have, let me tell you something. Last night, I would have done it all for a fucking salad. And let me tell you what I mean. There's a restaurant here at the hotel I'm staying, and I'm not going to name names because I'm about to shit on this place. This restaurant. I have eaten at this restaurant. Okay, so I've been here for I'm in my 3rd week right now. Or no, I'm in my 4th week right now. My 4th week here just began. I've eaten lunch and dinner every day and breakfast on the weekends as well at this restaurant. And it's because the proximity to any other restaurant around here is too far away for me to go like on my lunch break because I just don't have that much time. And then when I'm done with work and it's dinner and I get back to the hotel room, it's like, shit, man, I don't want to drive like an hour to go to some restaurant, you know?
Yeah.
That's how far like the closest stuff is. So anyway, I go to this restaurant. The point is I go to this restaurant a lot, twice a day, sometimes 3 times a day. And it's going on the 4th week in a row of that. Okay. So that is to say, I kind of know what I'm talking about with this place. So
look, I have enough experience to know what I'm about to say is valid. I've given them the benefit of the doubt for multiple weeks in a row.
For weeks. Yes, for weeks.
So...
And you know, the worst part, and I'll get to where I was going, but the worst part is that the first day that I got here, when I had lunch here the first day, it was so good. And I was like, damn, this is sick, man. We got a good restaurant here. Like, we're going to be eating good. This is so dope. Like, you know, because that's a pleasant surprise when you're out on the road and you're in a situation like this. You know, your food options are limited. I'm living in a hotel room. It's not like I can cook myself meals like I normally would when I'm at home. Right. So I'm stuck with kind of what I got here. And the experience ever since then has just been downhill, just downhill. Last night, this was the crux here. Last night I walk through the casino from the hotel where I'm staying. I walk through the casino, to the restaurant, and I walk up and I say, "Hey, can I get a to-go order? I just want a chicken Caesar salad to go, please." Now there is nobody in the restaurant. It's completely dead, okay? It's not like slow. No, there are no customers in the restaurant. And so I walk up and I make my to-go order and I say, I just want a chicken Caesar salad to go, please. And she's like, "Okay, that'll be about 25 minutes.
What the fuck?
And I'm like, in my head, I was just like, 25 minutes? I'm like, what?
Did you misspeak, bitch?
Yeah, what?
5 seconds?
Yeah, and so I was like, yeah, okay. Yeah. She's like, "Yeah, we'll call you over the intercom." And it sucks. So in my specific situation, I'm licensed with the State Gaming Commission, which means when I'm working in these casinos, I am not allowed to sit down at, touch, or interact with slot machines or gambling equipment in any way. So I can't even sit, like, normally the patrons, they say like, "Oh, I'm gonna get a to-go order." So they're like, "Okay, just go sit around in the casino and we'll let you know when it's time." Well, in my case, like, if I was anyone else or if I wasn't, commissioned as I am, I would just go sit at a slot machine and just chill and wait for my name to be called on the intercom. It might throw a couple bucks in to take her for a spin,
Yeah.
But in this case, I'm forced not to do any of that. So what I have to do is just stand up against the wall and like literally just stand there. I have no other option. Because when I go back to my hotel room, I can't hear the intercom, and there's no option to like, hey, can I give you my number and you can just call me when it's ready? No, that's no such thing here. So I get my order in, and I go, and I'm standing against the wall, and it's been 25 minutes, and so I'm like, okay, any minute now, the salad should be ready, and then it turns into 35 minutes, and then 45 minutes. At 55 minutes of waiting, I walk back to the restaurant. And now there's like maybe 2 tables, and this is a pretty large restaurant. There's probably 20 tables or so. So 2 tables is nothing. And I walk in and I say, hey, order for Andrew. I'm just like, is it ready? It was just some lettuce in a box with dressing, and they're like, yeah, let me go check in the back and see if it's ready. And I see through the window, the kitchen doors have like those flap doors that like swing, it's like hinges on the outside, and they swing in, like you could just push through them, like crash through doors, like a kitchen.
Yeah, like an old Western fucking bar door.
Yeah, like saloon doors, kind of.
Yeah.
They go from floor to ceiling or whatever. It's not like just a gate, but like the same concept, and you can see through them because there's little windows, like porthole windows, almost like on a ship. And where I'm standing next to the desk, I can see straight into the kitchen, and I see the 3 cooks. And I know who they are because I've been here for a long time, and I work in surveillance. And so like, I know who like all these people are. I recognize them, and I know where they are and what they do. And so I see through the window, all 3 of the cooks that are working back there are just chilling. They got like their arms up. They're like on their phones and just like talking in a circle as if, what I would expect them to do if no one had ordered anything. Right. Well, I go, I asked the lady, and she's walking back there, and this is when I'm seeing them in there, and she walks through, and I see the conversation happen between them. Obviously, I can't hear them because they're pretty far away, but I see the interaction where she's like checking for the salad, and one of them is like, he kind of gives like a, oh, I don't know, kind of look, and then I see one of them turn around and like walk out of sight and to where I know there is to be like where they build the salads, the salad bar, and I see him walk around there, and a couple minutes later, she comes out with the salad. And she hands it to me. And at this point, it's been like an hour. It's been literally has been an hour since I ordered, And I'm just like speechless. Like, how in the world does it take an hour? I could just like, hey, just let me back there. I have a badge. I can go in any place. I can go in any room in this place. Like, here's my badge. I'm going to go ahead and walk back there and scoop some of that fucking lettuce and put it in a to-go box. Shake some Caesar dressing on it and throw a thing of chicken in there. Like, holy shit. And the insult to injury, when I finally get back to my room, I pop it open and I asked specifically, hey, can you make sure that they put the croutons on the side? Because I'm not going to eat it right away. I'm going to eat it later. And I don't want the croutons to be all sogged out from the dressing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I get back to my room. I pop it open. And at this point, I have learned to dramatically lower my expectations at this place, and I just peek open the lid just to check. Sure enough, there's croutons. They're soaked in dressing. Somehow they're soggy, and so it all makes no sense. It makes no sense because
That's
like
insane.
Did they make the salad and then let it sit long enough for the croutons to get soggy while they didn't call my name to tell me about it?
That's
or
exactly
when I
what
went
they
back
did.
there, did they realize like, oh shit, we forgot to make the salad? And make it real quick, and then like throw soggy croutons on. Like, I don't even know, man. I'm blown away. I'm blown away. Like, I would give this place negative stars if I could.
We need the name.
I can't do it. I would never. Never.
All these people are gonna know. They're gonna come back to this story, and they're gonna be like, I had some fucking soggy ass croutons
I
at
have
this
seen
place before.
I have had, so it's like I have a rotation of like 4 or 5 different servers from when I go there at lunch to when I go there for dinner. And I have seen the same people so many times. I know all their names because every single time they come up to the table and they say, hi, my name is blank. I'll be taking care of you tonight. How are you doing out there on the slots? Like, lady, I have been here so many times.
You should
I don't
know
play the
by
slot
now.
machines. Like, yeah, like I have told you who I've told you, like, like because they'll try to start, small talk with you and stuff, and like to be nice and to get a bigger tip and stuff. And I get that. But it's like, at what point, like, how many times do I have to tell you, like, oh yeah, I'm not playing here. I'm working here, doing camera stuff. How many times before, and then the next day it's, hi, oh, how you doing out there? You winning anything? Like, lady.
So
no.
These people have dementia? That's what I'm getting from
it's
this.
Like, okay, so I feel like where I am in the country, there's like this general vibe of like, no, yeah, like ordering anything at the restaurant right off the menu. Okay, that's fine. You want anything different? Like you want to, hey, could you pretty please not put like tomatoes on that? I just don't really like tomato. Can you keep the tomato off? Oh yeah, of course. And they write it down, and then it comes out and it's got tomato on it, and it's like, I don't understand. Like, it's like some sort of strange void, where like nothing can make it past just a very basic amount of like knowledge. You know what I mean? Like, okay, another example. I have to get my room cleaned it's like once a week that they come in and clean my room. And I tell them, and I've talked to the same guy dozens of times. Like, I have seen him so many times. I see him all over the place. I know his name. I know he knows my name. I tell him, hey man, when you go in my room, why don't you, give me some of the just, I don't need the decaf and the half calf coffee. I think I mentioned this last week, but I don't need those. Just go ahead and give me, all the coffees you're going to give me. I know that you're only allowed to give me 4. Okay. I get that. But hey, can you make it 4 of the regular coffee? 'Cause you should fucking know by now, I don't drink the other ones. They sit there for a whole week until you come into my room again. Like, hello.
What are you doing with them? Throwing them away because like they've been out for a week. You can't just give those to somebody else. I bet with COVID restrictions and shit.
Yeah, they probably do have to throw them away. But I'm guessing that the ones that have been there that I left there, they're just like, oh well, I'm not going to take these and then give him more of the same ones. Like, I wish they would do what I have asked them to do several times, which is take these ones that I'm clearly not drinking and just give me. Yeah, and at this point, I went to the store and I bought like a big pack of like Starbucks K-Cups for the Keurig. So like, yeah, it's just like, dude, fuck it. I'm not dealing with all this shit.
That's insanity, though. That's insanity. I would flip out in a place like that.
And here's the thing, okay? Like, the people are nice. They're very nice. I don't feel like anyone is like,
trying to be a dick.
Yeah, like they're all very nice. And like when you ask these things, they're like, oh yeah, totally. Like, yeah, no, totally. And then it's just like completely as if it never happened,
That's worse.
And it's just with everything here. It's with a lot of the people that I've met. It's with like all my interactions with people. Okay, here's what kind of place this is, right? Every business, this is how small of a town I'm in. Every business, you call, like you Google the business, right? And if it even has a listed phone number, you call it and it's someone's cell phone. And they're like, hey, this is Steve. Leave a message. If you're calling about the wood supply for the Google page, just leave a message. I'll call you back. Like, and that's like, if that's your number on Google, like when you Google my business, that's what happens.
Damn.
I called this one guy. I was looking for some electrical stuff. And I call and no one answers. And it was like, hey, this is Mike. Shit. And then it like hangs up. And I was like, okay, well, I must have had a wrong number or something. And sure enough, dude, like 2 minutes later, I get a call back. And and so I answer the phone. Okay,
hey,
I go.
This is Mike.
I go.
Got electrical shit.
I'm like, hello? And he's like, hello? I was like, yes, hello? And he's like, did you call me? I'm like, yeah, is this, the blank electric company? He's like, yeah, man, what you need? I was like, well, I mean, I'm in front of your building, but it looks like it's like abandoned. Like, I don't know, am I at the wrong place? He's like, no, dude, come on around back. And I go around back and I'm just like looking for, and here's the thing, okay? I'm looking for like I'm looking for like 50 feet of a very specific type of wire. And he sells like large scale, like large bulk stuff. And so he's like, I'm not going to charge you for 50 feet. Here, you just cut me off 50 feet. He's like, here you go, brother. Have a good day. So it's like the people are they're really cool. They're really nice. But it's like it's just like they're in their own little world, Like, I can't imagine like owning a business and having the voicemail, the actual voicemail of the number that people get when they search my business be, hey, this is Mark. Oh, shit. And then hang it up. Like, dude, it's insane. It's just crazy. It's a different way of life out here.
I kind of fucks with it. That's fucking crazy. Like, that's not one fucking shit given.
Nope.
Not one. They just out there doing their shit, you either with it or you off of the train.
Yeah, you know, it reminds me a lot of like the concept of island time, you know?
Oh, man. But even on, like, the island, like, when we were in Hawaii, like, fucking people were moving about. They were doing some shit. I mean, we were in the tourist area, but we went all about the island. So we went through, like, the regular neighborhoods and shit.
Yeah.
And get to the skate parks and shit like that are in most of the regular neighborhoods and parks. But most people were, like, they were a little slower. Like, getting food and shit was a little bit slower. There were some lines. Not gonna lie. Like, that shit would be, like, snappy out here.
Yeah, right.
I used to get anxiety trying to pay because, like, I felt like I couldn't get the money fast enough before the food was ready. And they're like, give me the fucking money. Here's your food. You need to get it on next. And I'm like, God damn it, I ain't quick enough. Out there, though, you got all the time in the world. You can count your money. You can be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Now
Well, you know, the people around here seem to think I have all the time in the world as well, so that's something they got in common.
That's absolutely hilarious, though. That's fucked up, but hilarious.
I can't wait to come home, man.
I bet.
I just, you know what I want to do is I want to go to, like, McDonald's, and I want to just ask for, like, you know, hey, can I get a McDouble with no pickle? And just experience the glory of it coming out in the bag with no pickle in it, you know?
Yeah, see, you get lucky then, because every time I order from fucking McDonald's, I'd be like, I need it like this, and they're like, yeah, fuck that, we're gonna do it like this. I'm like, what's up? That's not, you got all the other shit right, but the one thing I want, you fuck it up, huh? I don't understand. It doesn't make no sense.
Yeah.
I went to Wendy's the other night because my grandpa ended up catching fucking COVID.
Oh,
like
shit.
2 weeks ago, right? Mm-hmm. And the other night, my grandma, she's gotten sick, but she hasn't tested positive for COVID. Which is weird, but she's taken
weird, man.
2 tests and no positive, but she sounds like she has COVID. It's weird. Dude. Like, she's got, like, the croup. That's what it sounds like deep lung thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so the other night, she sounded a lot better now, but 2 or 3 nights ago, they go, hey, can you go to Wendy's and get not even much, right? Like, it was a medium fry, a small Frosty, a baked potato.
Wait, they have baked potatoes at Wendy's?
Oh, yeah.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie, I've been to Wendy's twice in my life.
Oh, I used to work there, so.
You've probably been there at least 3 times.
Oh, at least.
Anyway.
So the baked potato and, like, the most basic baked potato that they have is what I asked for. And then a thing of chili. Get through the line. They hand me a couple of bags. I'm going, dope. Couple of bags is what it should be if you got everything in there. The line is already out to the street for some reason.
Right.
This
so
night,
you feel pressured, like you can't sit there in the line and take the time to make sure everything's correct in the bag. Is that what I'm assuming?
Because we got people bumper to bumper. Like,
right.
We've been bumper to bumper all the way out to the road. So I jolt off, get home, start handing out everything. Well, there's no baked potato.
Yep.
Where'd my baked potato go? So now I'm upset. But they go.
Now, was that just to be clear? Was that baked potato for you specifically, or was that ordered for somebody else?
It was ordered for somebody else, and thank God we have potatoes at my house so they could bake it. They just didn't want to for laziness. So, and they didn't even ring it on the thing. So at least I didn't pay for it.
Yeah, that's true. You know.
But the fact is, like, it was the first thing I ordered. The first thing I said out of my mouth was baked potato, medium fry, and small Frosty. And then I had to go through the burgers. I was like, I'm going to get the starches out the way and the sugars, and then I'm going to go straight to the meats. But even laying it out in that simplistic of a manner, they couldn't do it. And it was kind of upsetting. It was a little upsetting. Especially for the long ass line. I sat for like fucking hour in that line. It was ridiculous. People just kept turning in even though there was no space to turn in. Until there was just bunches of people at the entrance.
Yeah. I feel like I've been burned too many times in the drive-thru where like at this point I don't give a shit if I have to take 20 more seconds to make sure I got the right order, because like the time the people behind me spend in the drive-thru is not my problem, just like my time wasn't the person in front of me's problem. And you know what?
Just true.
Yeah, like you got to be ruthless up in that those drive-thru streets, cuz otherwise, yeah, you're going to get home and realize, "Yo, I didn't order this," or you get the wrong order, or dude, the worst is when you get like not only like when you're expecting, you go like to McDonald's or something and you have a certain thing that you're expecting. Like I'm like I'm really keyed up and I really just want, a bacon McDouble with like double bacon on it. And then you get it home and you realize like it's still a McDouble, but like there's no bacon, and like the bacon was like the part that I was craving, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just sucks. But yeah, you just gotta check those orders, son.
Next time, I know that from now on. Like, I just assumed that I could make the judgment call on the bags.
Yeah, well, it makes sense because it's like, okay, 2 bags, that makes sense. They clearly have multiple items in them. Like, we're good to go.
I thought starches were in one bag and burgers were in the other. I figured they even got my concept of it, and they didn't seem to catch it at all. And I was very upset. But it all worked out in the end. Usually, though, if I would have had to return, I'm getting at least 5 free meals. You've now wasted my time and my gas twice. Mm-hmm. If I have to go sit through this line, like I'm talking to management, like we're having some words. There's a discussion being had.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Oh no! Oh no!
We got chaos. The mic has fallen.
The mic is falling. Oh, how the strong have fallen. That's like the strongest mic stand in the world. I guess it's a weak desk, huh?
No, it was I didn't actually tighten it down all the way over on the end, and I just realized that. So I gave it I tried to adjust it a little bit, and the whole bottom part came off because I never actually tightened it down.
Oh, it was like, hey, bye-bye.
No, we are good. We're back.
We are back, back again. Yeah, so then I got to do some... I've been moving a lot of shit at my house, because days are counting down. Tomorrow will be 18 days. I still got to figure out some vehicle shit, but I'm, told not to worry about it. We'll see. I'm more worried about getting their shit figured out. I'll figure my shit out at the end.
Yeah.
I was trying to explain that, my grandma was like, so... you should probably get like a little part-time job during the day. I was like, you realize though, if I do that, the only reason I haven't done that right now is because there's no one else to help you move shit.
Yeah.
There's no one else. And oh shit, you're right.
Oops.
She's like, I guess that makes sense. I was like, as soon as you guys are gone and you're good, I'm gonna be doing nothing but working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Like, I will have nothing but time. But I gotta make sure you guys are good.
Well, normally you spend a lot of time working in the studio too, and so the fact that you're being pulled, you're pulled away from that to go be there physically.
Well, and that's the thing. I was like, I wouldn't have time to go and get like a little part-time thing too, because she knows that I've been wanting to get like a little part-time job, and that I was applying for a bunch of shit, and she's like, well, if you aren't getting those, why don't you try one of these? And I was like, well, if I did that right now, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Like, time's ticking down, and if it isn't for me in the last couple of days, like from dusk till dawn doing shit, we wouldn't have the stuff as far as we are. Because you've been sick, Grandpa's been sick, he's got his shoulder all fucked up, and Amy's not going to be bringing the kid around while you guys are sick. So, it kind of leaves one person.
How are you feeling? You haven't caught the Rona yet, right?
No, man, that's what crazy thing. And I've taken the test, too. I still don't have any antibodies. I feel like I'm immune, baby.
Dude, I feel you. So, my girlfriend got it, and, well, I guess, shit, she's my fiance now.
Oh,
pretty much my
fucking
wife.
congrats.
But well, it's been a while. I just
Yeah, I'm just
I'm
saying.
not a big like post about it type of dude. But so I definitely forgive people that are not aware. Anyway, she got it right, and we live together, and we explore each other's bodies. And before she was like actively like, oh shit, yeah, you're sick, like, so makes sense that I would have gotten it from her.
Right.
Nope, never got it. She went through like 2 full weeks of like having COVID, testing positive and all that stuff, and the whole time I never got it. And then my coworker, this is the weird part. We're at work. Well, no, I'm sorry. I take that back. We're not at work. We're out, on the road is what I meant. But we're doing something on the weekend. We're out kind of just enjoying some time off. And I had a dab pen, and I hit it, and he hit it, and I hit it, and he hit it, and well, turns out the next day we were both kind of sick. And I just had a little stuffiness in my nose, and he got COVID. So like we both got sick from somewhere, whether I got it from him or he got it from me. We both, we shared this dab pen, and then both of us the next day were starting to get sick, right? So he gets it. He goes through it. He tests positive until he tests negative, and I test negative the whole time. I had a stuffy nose for like 2 days, and that was it. So I just don't understand, man. I think me and you, we might be immune.
Yeah, I think so. Because like the most I've had recently is somewhat like a stuffy nose. Like it felt like I was starting to get like maybe a sore throat was coming on, and then next day fine.
Yeah.
And I've tested fucking negative thus far, which is insane.
It's almost like we aren't doctors and don't understand viruses at a high level.
What's we don't know the accuracy of a test. They could just be false negatives or false positives. I don't know even the term to be exact on what it would be.
I still get confused when someone's like, oh, I tested negative, like, oh damn, or oh, I'm sorry. But it's like, no, negative is good, positive is bad,
right?
It hurts my monkey brain.
Yeah, it fucks with me. Like it's like I'm HIV positive, I have AIDS. Like,
are you positive? What? Are you HIV positive?
Like, that's the only other one where, like, being positive is not good.
Well, I mean,
like,
I think
if you have a
whenever you're
test on anything else, like blood test, positive, good. If you have negative test results, because it'll say positive or negative.
Like, for your blood type?
Yeah, for, like, for blood tests, like, for, like, liver health, lipids.
Drug screenings.
Fucking, all that kind of stuff. It's like, you're either positive or negative. Like, if I get a positive UA test,
that's bad.
I guess it is bad.
Yeah, because that means you tested positive for those substances. Well, it's a positive result. Like, that's something to be positive about. You're not hooked on drugs, but
I usually
the result
have
is
drugs
positive
in my system though, and they do come out positive in that. So I guess that does make sense. But they're prescribed drugs. They're supposed to be there. That's the point.
Speaking of Boeing, okay, throwing it back to Boeing. When I got hired there, I was 18 or 19 years old, one of the two. So young, dumb, full of drugs, and so I had to go take a piss test. So I had to pee clean. Went on a cleanse, drank all the cranberry juice in the world, and I was just smoking weed. Like doing mushrooms and stuff occasionally too, but just smoking weed like an 18-year-old, 19-year-old kid does. A skateboarder nonetheless. And so, I did the whole thing like, shit, man, I can't smoke weed, turning it down for a month or so, 3 weeks. And I finally get to the test, and I'm driving there, and my buddy John, John.
Yeah.
John's coming with me. We were living together at the time. And I'm driving. We get to the hospital where I have to go and take my test. And I run in, I get to the lobby, and I'm like, dude, I gotta fucking pee so bad. Oh, I had to pee so bad that like I totally forgot what I was there for, and so I ran to the bathroom and I just peed because I really had to. And then I come back out and I realize like, oh shit, it's gonna be so long till I have to pee again. I just like emptied myself out. I'm here to pee. If I would have waited like 2 more minutes, I could have just peed. And so. Turns out I went up and I talked to the receptionist, and I was like, hey, I have an appointment, for a piss test. And I I just peed. So like, can I, is there any way I can like, just come back like when I have to piss? And she's like, no, if you leave the premises now that you're here, it's considered a failure. And then at that point, that would have meant I would have basically, I wouldn't have gotten the job that I got. So I was like, oh shit. So I can't even leave. I can't go anywhere. I can't do anything. I have to stay here in this waiting room till I have to pee. And so I'm just, dude, those little triangle shaped Dixie cups that are like at water coolers and stuff? They're like a cone shape.
Yeah.
Like it's not even a real Dixie cup. It's a cone, like a snow cone. And that I just kept, they had a water cooler and I just pounded, bro. I probably took like 150 shots of water out of the snow cone cups. And I sat there, dude. We were there for like, I don't know, at least like another hour that we were sitting there. Honestly, it was probably like 2 hours, but like at least an hour. And I remember John was pissed because he was my ride, or maybe I was his ride. I don't even remember, but like,
he's stuck.
He's stuck there. And I felt so stupid. Like all I had to do was not piss. And that I came inside and I just went straight for the bathroom. Like, man.
Oh, dude. I felt
very stupid.
I got a piss test every 3 months or so, or whenever they call me in for it, really. But through my pain plan with my doctor.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had the fear that, because I know that they're going to ask me to piss every time, usually when I show up. Like, it's usually just like to start things off, and then they'll randomly UA me in between. But as soon as I get there, it's usually one of the first things. She handed me a cup. She's like, go in the bathroom, piss in this.
Yeah.
And as soon as she tells me piss in this, I'm like, I don't have to pee at all. Even if I've had to piss the entire fucking time. As soon as I get there, she's like, pee in this. Yeah. I'm like, nope, can't piss. I got to go in the bathroom and like wait for a second, run some water, and then all of a sudden, miraculously, it will work. But I'm always afraid I'm not going to fill it up enough. Because right. I don't really have to pee, and I don't know how much I have. And if I start now and like break the seal and shit, they're going to think I'm fucking with it, and I fucked it up. And like,
right. And yeah, that's exactly the problem, is you think that they think that you're fucking with it, and then they're going to like, screen you extra hard, or they're going to, like disqualify you or something like that.
Yeah, immediately just be like, yeah, your shit's faked. Sorry, we're not even going to test it and waste a test strip on it. Fuck right off. I'm like, God,
these pH strips are expensive, God damn it.
Yeah, I'm like, fuck. It always trips me out, but it always seems to work out. You ever had
to do a UA with the person standing in there with you?
Oh, fuck no.
I've had to do that. Yeah.
That's
that's so, because of my job, like I mentioned before, like we get licensed with all these different gambling commissions, like through states or through tribes and stuff. And so there's some pretty like heavy screening that they have to do. And sometimes they look for drugs. But what's interesting is it's not like a drug test really where you have to piss clean. It's more just like, we just want to see what's up. You know what I mean?
Like, what are you taking?
Yeah, exactly.
They want to make sure you're not high on methamphetamines and
right.
coked out and fucking gonna cause havoc, and
exactly.
Like, you've been drinking heavily for, and it shows in your urine that like your kidneys are failing because you're an alcoholic.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it's it's wild the amount of I'm very much not like a the government is spying on us, blah blah blah. I mean, they are. That's like
that's just given.
I just choose not to give a shit because like all my information is out there so many times in so many states for all the licenses and shit I have. It's like it's impossible. I would have to create a new alias and get a new social security number and all that stuff, which, what, I wish you could do. Dude, do you remember, on Xbox Live back in the day, you had your gamer tag, and it was whatever your name was that you could play with online, and that's what other people would see you as, in case, if you don't know what a gamer tag is. It's the same as like your PlayStation ID or Nintendo ID, and it's just your unique username for being online. Well, you could have all kinds of funny usernames and stuff, and the coolest part was you weren't necessarily stuck with it on Xbox Live. I remember you could pay, I believe it was like $50 you could pay to change your username. I think you got to do, I actually think they let you do it once for free.
Yeah, I think it was up to 3 free.
3 free, damn. Well, that probably makes sense, because I had like 9 gamer tags, dude.
And then you had to start paying heavy for them.
Yeah.
And Xbox is one of the only ones that I think still has something like that. where like they only allow so many of them.
Mm-hmm.
Because PlayStation, you could change it, I think like once or twice a month.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn,
I've
I
changed
seem
my
to remember.
gamer tag quite a few times.
Huh? You got a PS5? You PS4?
Nah, PS4, but it's yeah, it's getting old. It's got some.
Yeah.
It's had some run time.
Well, it's wild how old like PS4 is now.
Yeah, it's ridiculous because it
Like
feels like I just bought it not too long ago, and all of a sudden it's fucking obsolete. I'm like, son of a
Dude,
bitch, technology.
So I'm a gamer, pretty big gamer. I play mostly like Nintendo stuff just because that's the consoles that I grew up with and the consoles that I've had. I've had Xbox, I've had all the Xboxes, and I've had all the PlayStations except a PS1 and a PS5. So I've played all the consoles for the most part, but I'm just a Nintendo guy. And I can kind of like I can kind of see my life in the era of consoles. Like the Switch has been the last like 5 years. And there was the Wii U era before that. And I bought one of those off Craigslist for like $90, dude. That shit sucked. Wii U. Yeah, everyone hated it. It was a gigantic flop.
It was a fucking gigantic flop. The bowling was kind of cool.
Yeah, the only thing I thought was cool was that the controller was like the gamepad too, which they ended up sort of developing into the Switch. Into that concept, but then there was like the Wii era. The Wii era, those were like, that was like prime, like early,
that's what I'm thinking
like
of,
late
the Wii.
Teenage. Yeah, the Wii. You're thinking of the Wii, like Wii
yeah.
bowling. Yeah, that shit was cool.
That shit was
tight. And that. So for me, dude, the Wii came out. I was in high school. I think I was in 10th grade maybe when the Wii came out, and I just remember because my buddy, he got a Wii, and we would always like, we were making such like, we'd make fun of him all the time, like, oh, you're gonna go home and play with your Wii, and like,
you're gonna jerk your Wii off.
Yeah, you're gonna use the motion sensors on your little Wii, and just make all kinds of little Wii jokes at him. Come to find out, like, no, Wii bowling was tight. All of Wii Sports was pretty tight.
Wii tennis and all that shit was pretty fucking badass.
Yeah, the boxing was pretty cool too.
The boxing was sick. I can't wait to try some of that VR boxing they have now. That's like with the haptic suits and shit. Them bitches, dude, bad.
I would love to get in a real VR setup. In Everett, I think that they still have a game store there that you can play VR. Like you can get in a legit VR setup that they have there.
What? In Everett?
Yeah, I think it's like Reset Games in Everett. The place that's right by Brooklyn Bros. You ever eat at Brooklyn Bros?
Yeah, I know. I've heard of the place.
Dude, Brooklyn Bros. That's some of the best pizza I've ever had. Shout out Brooklyn Bros.
Hell yeah, shout out Brooklyn Bros. I don't know if I've ever had their pizza, but
oh my god. Okay, so Brooklyn Bros is actually like all these pizza places say like, oh, real New York style pizza. That is actually New York style pizza.
Yeah, but isn't New York style pizza like thin and fucking shitty?
Yeah. But they do it, and it's very delicious. It's just like really the only thing about, New York pizza is like, it's thin, but really what makes it stand out. Well, see, the whole point of like the New York pizza is you fold the slice. You kind of fold it up and eat it like a taco.
Yeah, but I do that with a fucking regular American slice. That
I just think the
Italian.
You go to it's a different kind of style too. There's different ingredients, different sort of seasonings.
Yeah, I bet they use like fucking peppers and shit.
Yeah, and like basil and like dude, you got to try it. It's
all about
amazing.
The Parmesan. That's the only thing that the Italians ever did for us that was great. Parmesan, cheese, delicious, especially on pizza.
Parmesan cheese and Mr. Bean. I don't know if he's actually Italian, but he looks really Italian to me.
He does look really Italian, but I'm pretty sure he's Canadian. Have you heard about the Canadians? Have you been seeing what's going on with the Canadians? The Canucks over there?
Nope, I haven't.
Oh,
I haven't, buddy.
God.
Why don't you fill me in, bud?
Oh, man. So they've been blocking, all of the ports from Chicago, New York, Washington.
Oh, you don't say, buddy. What do they want, a little Tilly up in the river there?
So, no, they're fighting against Trudeau's mask and vaccine mandate for truckers. And so, like, the truckers started a convoy. Now that convoy is at Parliament. They've been arguing in Parliament for the last, like, 3 or 4 days. Trudeau like fled the fucking state. He's called all of the truckers racist and fucking extremists, and
Jeez.
that all the people of the state of Ottawa are in fear of their life. And then all these people came out with petitions, and they're on these live streams, and there's like no violence. They said that, oh, well, there's swastikas and Confederate flags out there, and then found out that's like those were government people that were put out there to cause a
classic.
ruckus.
Yeah, classic.
And no one's been taking the bait, and they've just been staying nice and like calm and shit. And then Trudeau tried to have the truckers get hauled by the tow trucks, and the tow trucks were like, nah, we ain't doing it. You can fuck right off, bruh. We stand with them. We done with this shit.
Well, hey, shout out Canada. You know, handle your business.
Some
whatever they got to do.
Patriots over there.
Yeah.
Fucking respect Canada. I wish the U.S. had some balls to stand up for anything as much as these guys are standing up for their shit anymore. We're too busy whining about shit. We got it too easy. These guys, they dealt with everything. The Canadians, they took everything that their government asked for on lockdowns and shit, and that's why they're so upset about it. They're like, hey, we've bent at the knee for you for 2 years, and now when all these other places are starting to open up, you're still not willing to even give us a timeline. Not okay.
Yeah. Well, what are you going to do? I heard Washington is opening back up in the next couple days.
Hopefully, yeah. I saw that Ensley posted something today. Well, King 5 posted something about Ensley having a speech about the mandates and all that. It's because it's starting to leak over here because we're so close to Canada, and like the borders there are getting blocked off. Like the truckers have stopped at the border entrances and are not letting people through.
Well, see, that's the thing. Like, that is how you make things happen. Okay, like I hate to say it, but doing rallies and marches and stuff like that.
They're doing that as well, but they're having to like...
Well, right. And I'm not saying that there's no place for that, and I think that that's a powerful display of how a large group of people are feeling. But you have to fucking block the damn streets. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You have to block the ports. You have to make them hurt where it hurts, which is the wallet.
Yeah, that's the thing. But
that's literally the only thing that can get the government's attention. I mean, you look at like the amount of people that have to die at the hands of whether it's police officers or whatever, like before anything changes, or it's just like nothing will ever change unless they fear losing money, because that's the only thing that matters to them. And so it's the only thing that gets the attention of politicians. You know what I mean?
You're right.
So shout out to those.
Of blocking off is how they got Trudeau, who as soon as the truck convoy entered Ottawa and hit the Parliament Capitol, he fucking fled the state and went to an underground bunker and then put a state of emergency in Canada, in Ottawa.
Yeah, I think one of the problems, though, in America is we're too divided about things, to where, like, when you'll have people saying, like, hey, we're going to stand out and block traffic, and, like, with like, riots and not riots, but, God damn it, what are they called? When everyone meets up. Rallies. Yeah, rallies, and they have protests, and they have these things where they're like, "Hey, we're gonna block the road, and we're gonna."
See, that's the
problem. That's the concept is that's what they're doing. But then you have like hillbillies coming through, like they have a giant F-150 that says like I splatter protesters and like protester punisher and shit, and like they're like, oh, you're gonna block the road, I'm gonna motherfucking run you over because in America this is my goddamn road and I can fucking do whatever I want, self-defense, you were in my way, like. You have half of the population that wants to run over all the people that are protesting, that are trying to, hurt the economic.
I agree and disagree, because it depends on what you're protesting. Like,
well,
if
right,
you're protesting
my point is
rights,
that
you got a lot of that. If you're protesting freedom of choice or something like that, you're gonna get a lot less of that. Like, they haven't had
it just
any
depends
fights.
Because the whole thing is like what's important to people, and I think that we can't unify on what's important.
That's what I'm saying. Is like we used to have a unified at the bare minimum freedom of choice and decision and thought was like everyone agreed on that. Whether we agreed on what your thought process was, the fact of you being able to think and have a decision, or to make a decision, or to think on a process, or to think on a subject and to have an opinion was everyone's right. But because everybody in today's era has an opinion and they're able to post it everywhere, now no one wants to hear anybody's opinion. Only their opinion matters, and that's the end of it. And in Canada, I must give the Canadians their due. They've been nice enough people and kept some of that hometown feeling between each other to where everyone agrees on Canadians are Canadians, right?
Yeah, I mean,
We don't even agree that Americans are Americans. Half of them.
Yeah, but like that's just you're just talking about like the extremely extreme minorities of people that are like, saying that type of stuff, because that's what we hear is the loudest people, and the loudest people are not the largest group of people.
Agreed, but they are what gets things made decisions upon, right? Like, the small minority group that's pushing back has gotten to the White House now about Joe Rogan, a podcaster. And then a super PAC, a political super PAC for the Democratic Party put together a super cut of him saying the N-word.
Yeah,
right?
I heard about that.
Over years, completely out of context. And he went and apologized because he's like, even out of context, just watching it, he's like, the fact that can be put together, it's wrong. So, that's my bad. I fucked up.
Yeah. Well, I think that's the point
again.
is like, hey, there's not really a real good context for you to be dropping the N-bomb like.
Well, it went in
like
the things that he's talking about, if you watch like the actual podcast, and a lot of people of color have spoke up and they said, we watched the original podcast, we had no problem with it. If you're using the word in historical context, then yes, use the word. We shouldn't fear a word. That's insane.
Yeah, and that's what sucks
like
is like
Voldemort in fucking Harry Potter. The whole idea of that being ridiculous was the fact that words are words. You give them the power that you think that they hold. That's it. And if you don't give it any power, that's the end of it.
Yeah, it just it sucks that people can't like. I was thinking about it the other day, like, if there's something that like if there's a word that's offensive, but let's say in another language, that word is just part of a different word or something, and it means absolutely nothing like it means to person A, who speaks this language in which that word is offensive. So do you say to that other person who speaks language B, hey, you can't say that word because in my language, that's offensive. You know what I mean? Correct.
Like the term negro in Spanish is the word for black.
Yeah.
That is the color. And
right.
It's enunciated that way. But if you're here in the U.S. and you say that in Spanish, it's too close. You're too close.
No bueno.
Yeah, it's no bueno. You've gotten too close to the word.
Yeah.
And I think that's absolutely, I think it's ridiculous to try to stifle speech because of the same fact, like when I was a kid, I learned that the swastika, right, that Hitler turned it into a symbol of hate, but the original symbol goes back thousands of years before in the Hindi religion, and it's all over India.
Well, it's a very unoriginal and like old symbol for sure. Yeah, it's definitely not. But Hitler didn't just make it,
Exactly, but it's all over India. So if you go to India, what are you gonna do? It's built into 1,000-year-old monuments. It is inscribed in stone. Are you gonna go over to India and tell them, hey, you got to take that shit the fuck down, yo?
Yeah.
Even though you had it first, not okay.
Yeah. Well, that's
it's kind of crazy. Like that's why I've always the same thing you're talking about. Like I can't judge words because I've heard things in other languages to me that sound absolutely ridiculous, but to them it means something completely different.
Yeah, well, I like to think that when we come down to a point in our society when we're arguing about words and sounds coming out of our mouths, we're probably fucking pretty. Well, I think we're doing pretty good.
Yeah,
that's the worst of our problems. Like, hey, man.
And I would hope people would fall and agree on that at least.
Yeah, well,
if we could at least agree on the fact that like it's pretty good that if all we have to do to really fight with each other is discussing the vowels and sounds and that come out of an orifice in our face region, like, come on now. Like, we got it pretty fucking good.
I would also like to, though, just for the sake of fairness, I'd like to posit, it's really not that hard to just mind certain things that you say around certain people, And I'm not literally saying like, yeah, just don't say the N-word if you're in front of black people, keep it on the down low. No, that's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying like, like one thing that I used to have like I don't want to say problems. I never had problems with it, but I didn't really understand it was like, pronouns and stuff like that. And I really still don't understand it, but like I have come to realize that it's like, bro, it takes like zero effort to just, hey, you want to be called that? Let's go. That's all good to me. It doesn't make my life any fucking different. I don't feel like I have the time or like the mental space to like trip out about someone if someone wants to have a like X in their pronoun. It's like, dude, fuck it, dude. Yeah, do whatever you want.
But
Zer.
The problem is that usually the reason that it becomes an argument or a fight beyond the fact of like, you didn't use my pronoun is that now it's become, that's hate speech. You've assaulted that person.
But that's the thing is like,
if you've messed up, if you didn't know right off of the bat, say it was a man that wants to be a woman, but in no way you know that, you go, "What's up, man?" Now you've committed assault.
Yeah. Well, okay, but here's the thing. Here's the thing is people that have that mindset, because here's the thing is you have to be real about this and understand that, hey, you're bringing something totally new into society here, or rather you're bringing, light to this thing. There's always been people that feel like they don't fit into like the normal, let's call them gender roles or whatever. And like, there's always been people that have felt like they don't fit into certain molds.
There are literal transvestite people. There are people that are born with both genitalia. Like that is a thing. It happens in nature. It's very rare. It's
but the thing is like now with the internet, we have so much more visibility on these things, and people have the ability to actually create their own community amongst other people. For the first time, you can go on like Reddit or something and you can find a bunch of people that think about the same things and feel the same things, and I think that that's awesome. And it's like, but earlier I said that, it's no problem for me to like use whatever pronoun someone wants to use, but other people have to understand. And see, here's the thing is it goes both ways. You got to have 100%. A little grace, and you have to say, hey, you know what? I recognize that I might be doing something that's a little unconventional. And that being said, I'm going to have a little, we got to give a long leash to people. You're trying to retrain people, the way they speak and the way they think. And, like you got to give them a little time on that. So I would say that the people that freak out and say that you're assaulting them, blah, 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 like you can't take that shit seriously because that's not real,
No, but those are the people that go and get people fired from their jobs and stuff because they have nothing better to do. That is their thing. Those are the people that go after just random people on Twitter for saying something that they think
it's your own goddamn fault if you let people like that get you fired. Like shit, I'm sorry. Like that's
it's pretty insane though. It's just it's insane that should even be a thing. Like if we don't agree on something on Twitter, right? Like, why are you hunting down my page? Like, I had someone post on Facebook like 2 weeks ago, and it pops up in my feed, and it says, trans women are women, and I'm a troll, right? I am. I enjoy a little mayhem. I do.
Yeah.
And I like to see people's thought processes. To me, it's interesting to see how people think. So I put, but they're not, right? Like, but they're not, because it says biologically. And I said, but they're not. You can feel like a woman, but you're biologically not, whatever. And these people literally go through and like start screenshotting my account information, trying to find phone numbers, trying to find my job information and shit, and it all says
because you're fucking with them, like they're just trying to live their life and do their thing, and you're in there poking a stick at them,
But you're on social media.
Yeah,
That's
I get it. Like I'm not saying that.
Is.
Like, yeah, it is what it is, but at the same time, like you got to understand, they're doing what you are trying to get them to do by posting those things. So don't be surprised. Don't be surprised.
I'm trying to get
you said it yourself.
And a
you're,
thought
you're
process,
a troll.
but going immediately to trying to find somebody's job and have them fired and call their job or dox them is insane. Have an argument. Speak your piece.
I get that, but like it's not an argument when you just tell them, no, like you're not actually saying anything. You're just basically saying like, no, fuck you. Whatever you said.
But
no.
It's not though. With a question
right, but
mark,
you're
that
not
is a
saying
question.
that's I know, but I guess it's just like there's a way to approach it, and you gotta understand that people are sensitive about these things, and it's a very, it's a new acceptance with a lot of these ideas is very new on a large scale, and so I think that there's a lot of people that are doing what you're doing, and
well, then you're gonna, I'm smart enough to understand that people will do that, so there's no way for them to obtain that stuff, right? I don't put a lot of my personal information and the stuff that I have no problem with people having is out there. You can get it. Mm-hmm. You can call me personally. I have no problem with that. We'll have that discussion. But the fact is when you post something on social media, you expect people to say something to you as well.
Yeah, and I would say to that, and when you troll people on social media, don't be surprised when they start fucking with you back,
Well, it isn't fucking with me.
And then being like, oh, they're screenshotting my shit. Like, well, yeah, you're
no.
It's,
it's when they post a screenshot and they say we're trying to dox you, and it's like, why is that the first thing that you go to instead of having an argument? Why don't you try to? And one person did, and I thank that person for having a discussion with me and actually like letting me see their viewpoint. Their viewpoint.
Well, the thing is, you already know their viewpoint. Well, you already know their viewpoint. That's why you're trolling them.
It changes constantly. It constantly changes. Like,
yeah, but who gives a shit? Why can't it change? That's my point.
If I'm supposed to be part of it, and it's assault if I say
no one's
the wrong
asking you to
thing,
be part of it.
Well, yes, they all are. Like, if you say the wrong thing, if that's assault.
Well, they're just asking you to call them a certain thing, and I think if you can't handle that, then I think they got a valid reason to fuck with you, Like it's just it's a few letters. I'm just playing devil's advocate here, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I don't see it as fucking with. Like it doesn't fuck with me.
You literally called it trolling.
No, I'm saying I'm trolling, yes. By posting something. I don't see them fucking with me by taking screenshots. I just think that it's way past the boundary of a direct, like that's the last thing that you do. You know what I'm saying? Not the first thing that you do.
You're complaining that someone's bringing a gun to a fight that you started, and it's like, oh, you didn't have to start the fight in the first place. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but there's also honor and.
There's no fucking honor on the internet.
There should be. That's the thing is we don't
the
have
internet.
honor anymore.
Fuck it.
People don't
Who gives
have
a shit
any
about honor?
That's the problem. That's the problem. I got honor. At least I'm willing to stand for it. And yeah, if I'm trolling, that's fine. But I did respect the person that did have a conversation with me, and they laid out what evidence that they had for the reasons that they believe the thing that they believe. I disagree with them, but I respect the fact. And if we got people over here at the pot shop. One of them, I'm pretty sure, is trans. I'm not entirely sure because I haven't really asked the person. But they don't get upset if I accidentally go, "Yo, dude, peace."
Yeah, it doesn't. It's not a big deal to them.
Never snapped at me, but I've had other people snap at me.
Okay, but isn't that their freedom of speech in action, right in front of your face? They can say whatever they want, right?
They can. It's never usually the person, though. That's the weird thing. It's never usually the person that's actually like trans that's saying something. It's like their
well, there's a lot of like super like woke people that try to
I'm gonna win these points with my friends.
Yeah, they're like with the woke warriors. They're trying to defend everyone.
That's what I have a problem with. That's really my issue is with those people. I mean, it's like you're not
corny
really
and
winning social points like you think you're winning.
Exactly. Well, you're the only people that you're winning them amongst are it's just your peers,
I guess. Like, do they really respect it?
Well, I'm not. I mean, your
really
peers,
groups,
the peers that you have in that specific thought process, whatever it might be. Like, it's just like an echo chamber. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I find that fascinating too on both sides. The echo chambers you can get into on.
Oh yeah.
Like the fact that you have those QAnon people and shit. Have you seen that documentary?
I haven't seen a documentary, but I've
Oh my
seen
God.
all kinds of like funny YouTube shit about them. But I mean, it just goes to show that, like the internet, and to tie it back to what we were talking about, like I think that in the stage of like the world that we're at right now with the internet and stuff, like we are in just the wild west of the world. Everything's so new and everything's so fresh, and like me personally, I'm just like, man, I'm just here for the ride. And like I understand, I definitely understand the allure of like trolling people, and I like to do that in certain aspects. It's not with like social type of stuff. It's more on like, arguing about like video games, or arguing about like some sport, like trolling on like a sports page or a meme page or something like that. It's not like generally like a socio-political type of thing, because I'm just not interested in any of that shit like at all. So like I never really engage with it. I see it when I see it, and it passes by, and I just try to live my life around it.
I enjoy the arguments
and
of
just
those
respect.
things.
Well, you like to argue with people.
Yeah, I also like the arguments of those specific things. Like I
Well,
like
and
to
those
see
are
people's
very-
arguments on them. See if
I
there's
think-
anyone that's intelligible, like one
Well,
that I can
and you
find
get
that
the
makes
thing
sense.
is you get really hot people on those hot button topics. You know what I mean?
This is very true,
And with it's the same with like in election season, man. You can start some fights real easy about stuff, because everything is so like loaded. You know what I mean?
Well, and that goes back to like, what do you say at certain times? Like I didn't bring up, when I'm around most people, I don't bring up politics and shit.
Yeah.
There's a small group of people that like I know I can have a candid conversation with, and it not turn into a fucking ridiculous
Right.
screaming match and shit, where people are like physically getting upset because of a thought, and it's like, what are we doing here? Like, people are allowed to have a difference of opinion. Like, that's totally fine. There's some great philosophers that I don't believe their politics, but their philosophies are still good. They could be used in a day-to-day reference. There was somebody that told me, it was like, you should be a socialist with your family, something else with your community, and then like
And a communist with your money, brother.
no, it was
Duh.
that's supposed to be like, you're supposed to be
Yeah, I've heard the expression. I've heard the
Yeah.
expression before. I don't remember all the different isms
don't
that
either.
it entails, but
and it's stopping my brain. But either way, I've always tried to live by that. Like, I try to give things to friends and family, and like help people out to the best of my ability, because that's my commune, my community. And then, if I have the ability to stash some money away, I'll do that. But most of the time, right now, everything's going the fuck up.
well,
What's gas over there?
dude, I think it's like, oh, you know what, bro? I can see through my window. I can see to the gas station.
Oh shit,
352. It looks like 352 for unleaded.
that still ain't bad. It's like 420 here right now.
Hey, nice.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I guess depending. I went up north, up to Stanwood to see the boys and skate for a little bit.
Nice.
And gas up there was kind of cheap. It was like 360 something. I was like, fuck yeah, I might drive all the way out here just to get gas. It's fucking ridiculous.
Bro, I remember I used to go to this place all the time, so I would be like negative in my bank account, and I would know like, okay, I got like $1 left in my account, but if I go to this specific gas station, it'll let me overdraft and I can fill up my tank as long as I got at least like over 1 cent in my account,
No shit.
And I would drive so far out of the way when I was broke to go to this certain gas station, because I knew like, all right, bro, if I got 1 penny in my account, I can fill up my tank.
I'm
Pay
fucking
for
full.
it later.
I am full on
Yep.
gas. That is fucking sick. Well, hell yeah, brother. We're at an hour 18 minutes.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
All right. Well, it was a great conversation, good talk.
Indeed. I feel like we covered a gambit of topics.
Oh yeah,
and
dude.
discussion
Do you remember
platforms.
like all the way back when we were talking about mustard and hot dog and ketchup water?
I do, and I
Feels
am
like it was
so
yesterday.
excited to
Yeah, me too. Hey,
film that
I'll
when
drink
you
it.
get back.
I'll take the shot.
All right. When you
I'll
get
do it.
back, we're getting ketchup. We'll get fresh stuff too. It'll be all fresh.
Only
fresh
the
water.
freshest.
Yeah.
The freshest of waters.
Only the freshest of waters, and we'll find some type of alcohol that's good, and we'll try one without and one with. See
Hell
which,
yeah,
which
man.
does you better.
Let's get it.
Fuck
all right,
yeah.
people. We're going to wrap it up. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now.